Hey everyone, I'm Grant Hodgins, and I'm the recipient of the 2021 RM Quigley Award. My supervisor is Dr. Claire Robinson, and my research looks at spatial and temporal variability of groundwater chloride inputs to urban streams. So the motivation behind my research is chloride concentrations in urban streams, as well as the Great Lakes in the northern United States, as well as Canada, have been increasing since the 1980s. And these high chloride concentrations are persistent not only during the winter, but in the summer as well. The high chloride concentrations in the summer is indicative of high chloride concentrations in the groundwaters that are recharging these streams in the summertime. So prior studies have shown that there are typically greater chloride concentrations in urban stream pore waters than the surface waters themselves. However, there's limited understanding to how these pore water concentrations vary spatially and temporally. So this leads to my objectives, which are to investigate the role of groundwater in delivering chloride to urban streams at a reach scale, so about 100-meter reaches at a roadside stream, as well as to evaluate how urban stream pore water chloride concentrations vary spatially and temporally. My key findings so far are that roadside pore water chloride concentrations are much greater than Canadian acute and chronic toxicity guidelines, and these high chloride concentrations are persistent year-round. So in the plot on the top right, you can see this stream that intersects a major arterial roadway. And the chloride concentrations are shown by the purple points, and then the dashed lines are the Canadian acute and chronic toxicity guidelines. So these chloride concentrations are much greater than the Canadian toxicity guidelines around this roadway. And then in the plot below on the middle, you can see the pore water concentrations at 3 different months in the fall, spring, and summer. And although there is some variation in the chloride concentrations from month to month or season to season, it can be seen that the concentrations remain elevated above toxicity guidelines throughout the entire year. The second key finding is that there is substantial spatial variability in these chloride concentrations in the pore waters, as changes in just 5 meters in location from the road can result in greater than 1,000 milligram per liter changes in chloride concentrations. In the plot at the bottom, you can see that the chloride concentrations shown by the red plumes are highest nearest the roadway and then dissipate moving away from the roadway. So the chloride concentrations can be high coming up in some zones and then decrease in other areas. So that's just a quick summary of my research, and thank you for the award.